Moving straight to our second story, and Bloomberg has ranked Ghana number 2 on countries with high debt risk in 2022. Ghana followed El Salvador, which is number 1 on the debt risk ranking. And according to Bloomberg, by the end of the year, the debt to GDP ratio of this country will spike at 84.6%. Now, staying with this story, we have Dr. George Demfe on the line. He's a senior research fellow and development economist with the University of Ghana. Dr. Demfe, welcome to our primetime bulletin.
Thank you, my brother.
Hello, Dr. Demfe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello. I can hear you. Thank you.
Can you please speak louder for me?
Hello, I can hear you. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. When we say a country is high debt default risk, which Ghana has been placed second globally by Bloomberg, what does it mean?
Let me thank you very much for this opportunity, and let me also say very good evening to our cherished listeners and viewers. Yes, to the best of my understanding, when we say you are, when a country is categorized into that situation, what it means is that you do not have enough strength, as you put it that way, financial muscles to meet your debt obligations. That's how I can simply put it.
Does it mean that when you are high debt default risky as a country, which we are globally number 2, it will affect our chances to borrow on the capital and the money market in future? Does it mean that?
Let me come back to this particular ranking. I must tell you, I don't really know what went into the ranking. You know, before, Bloomberg and other international credit rating agencies will do such ranking. They consider so many factors. And as we are here speaking, I can hardly tell you what exactly went into that ranking, and it surprises me a bit, because if you look back to our history, we don't default with our debt payments. We've always been paying debt at their stipulated term. When we had the COVID and it became a big problem, debt payment, we renegotiated for some of the debt to be paid from 2025 onwards. And this one, it wasn't only Ghana that did it, so many countries did it. And if you want to look at the debt to GDP ratio, what we are having currently is one of the worst in the world. After all, Ghana as a country, somewhere in the year 2000, our debt to GDP ratio was 182%. US, as we speak, our debt to GDP ratio of 137%. And so what we are experiencing is not too unusual, but what makes it a bit of a problem is the revenue generation. You know, our tax to GDP ratio is around 12%. What it means is that Ghanaians don't pay tax. And so revenue mobilization is a challenge to the government. And so if you're looking at it from that perspective, then I do agree. But coming back to your question as to whether it will be difficult for us to get procure loans from the financial market, I'm talking about the global financial market, is also another issue. You know, we have other international credit rating agencies, such as
Moody's and Fitch.
Exactly. They do all those things all the time. And the last time, using the Standard & Poor, our current rating is B- with stable outlook, which is even better than our rating in April 2015 when we subscribed to the Standard Credit Facility with an IMF in 2015, I might say. And so, with our current situation, we are not at the last end of the ranking from Standard & Poor where we were in April 2015. At least we are a step better than we were in April 2015. And so we are credit worthy. Unfortunately, if we have to go to bond market today, it will be difficult for us.
Okay.
Number one, because of our rating, B minus is not anything good. The outlook is stable, but the B minus grade is not good, and that is why Ghana decided not to go. After all, it would have been very difficult for us to get, bomb.
Okay, Dr. Domfe.
Payment. Hello.
The last time I spoke to you on IMF, you were of the view that even though we are going to the IMF, that will also increase our debt portfolio. There are other people who are of the view that it will be better for us to seek debt cancellation under HIPIC. President Kufuor did it some time ago. Do you subscribe to that analogy?
So, talking about the current debt situation, we put that straight away in HIPIC status. HIPIC status because one qualifier for HIPIC is your debt to GDP ratio were over 70% and you were also a developing country. Today, number one, the HIPIC arrangement is not available. That's number one. Okay. And even if it were available, Ghana is a low middle income country. We don't qualify for it.
Okay.
Because it was meant for developing countries. So Ghana, we are a lower middle income country, so we don't qualify. But then, if it were available, why not? we should have gone. Because our debt to GDP ratio are now gone beyond the minimum 70% threshold. That puts us in a risk situation. And that is part of the reason why we are having all these rankings. Except that I must admit, I do not know so much what went into the ranking by the Bloomberg. But I can see that our revenue generation will be a problem. In Ghana, we don't pay tax. And anytime we have a party in opposition, that party encourages Ghanaians not to pay tax. It has always been like that since 1992. Anytime a party is in opposition, they will preach against tax payments. And so Ghanaians feel that we don't have to pay tax. Some will say, all the taxes that we have paid, what have we used it for? Meanwhile, they use roads. Some of them are government workers, I don't know the money they are paid. I ask them, where do those money come from? You see, and so that is why Ghanaians feel that we don't have to pay tax. When anybody asks us to pay tax, that person is wicked. We have not been paying tax. Our tax to revenue, to GDP ratio is 12%, and it's one of the lowest even in the sub-region. The sub-regional average currently is about 18%. And so we are not paying taxes. And if we are not getting enough revenue, and now we are borrowing so much, and this year alone we are going to cost 37 billion to pay that. Significantly, those procured by running Kufuor, Mills, Mahama, we are paying them. All the beautiful things that you see around, we are not paying.
Dr. Domfe, thank you so much for speaking to us.
My brother, thanks so much for having me.
I've been speaking to Dr. George Domfe. He's a senior research fellow and development economist at the University of Ghana, Legon.